So, forgiveness is a scam, you say? Well, you're not wrong. You're partially true about this, but what's this 42? You got the photoelectric effect out here that I'm a piece of metal.
So let's say you had a piece of metal, and we know the metal has electrons. I'm going to go ahead and draw
And they're
one
telling
electron
me
here.
within this area right here, something is 0 and 1.
Metal because
And
it's
you're
attracted
trying to
to
tell me,
positive
well,
charge.
there's the photon. Its charge is, I agree with that or I do not agree with that. Well, we were going to use Lightfoot making everybody in Chicago do proof of vaccinations. Okay, there's the photon. Here's the plate. It hits the plate. What happened? What happened?
College
I haven't
is
watched this yet.
expensive, super expensive, and many families have felt the pinch of rising
Whoa,
tuition costs.
that
One new
oof.
study from U.S. News and World Report shows in-state tuition and fees at public universities skyrocketed 211% over the last 20 years. This as the Department of Education announces it's canceling more than $11.5 billion in student loans. Joining me now is personal finance expert, best-selling author, Dave Ramsey. Dave, I get it. Oh, the federal government's going to cancel my debt, so I can just, me and my family, we can just
Well, let's do
take
the
on
trajectory
a
yet.
little
If
debt so I can go to
that
college
photon
and get
hits,
washed away,
the
right?
result would be not just one thing, it would be several things. And you have to run for stamina on all those. Constitution, durability, charisma. Yeah, roll for stamina on those things. That's the forgiveness. That's like, if you fucked up, you stole something, then you gotta work at Best Buy. It's like, that's how you learn the stuff inside of there that make your probation or parole work. It's like, if you do that, that's with other calculuses with them running it on planes and lines. Let's see, I'm sure I'll get it in here somewhere. Then you're right, you have to be careful with that on the other side, because this becomes a photon in itself with no value. Button toggle switch, it'll rip your neck right off. Pop your head off your shoulders. Bunny Rabbit's yard. The first girl, she's talking about, well, it's all zeros and ones, so this is forgiveness is actually the photoelectric effect is scam, is what we're saying. We're saying it charges square root of -1 here. And any kind of forgiveness is a great model, would be the positive on the right-hand rule, obviously. The decay states in this equation turn into this instead of just ones and zeros. 1 0 0 1 0.
College commercials as I have in the last 6 months or so. So I don't know if that's going to shift the way people approach college, but the cost is tremendous, and people need to start saving early. And I'm sure
The plasticity of your steel bolt, Superman, deformation.
And Dave, I always, and I'm not, when I say this, I've said this on air before, and I'm not joking.
You ever watch? Yeah, no. To find Superman in that mill, it's like you don't break anything. You move more than anybody else. You complain less than everybody else out there. But really, honestly, there's nothing special about you, Clark. There really is not. You hold that hard line. You don't overamp other spots to make other ones up. You just got a nice smooth line all day. Contra, right? You know, the mashing signal inside here hitting the button. World record speed run. Like and again, that whole computer assisted Mario speed run on Contra here.
Anything you study at any price, at any college, and you will become successful. So you can get a degree for
To watch them do that to watch somebody go through punch outs, 7-bit code or 7-bit game, running the Game Genie out of the bottle here, the Klein bottle here, to be able to figure this out. These take zeros and ones, and you got IP addresses, and that's what this stuff photonically, photoelectric, its position and its value, electron volts or whatever, cost, timelines adjusted. And you're getting a lot of photon effect here, guys, and I talk about it a lot. I talk about where's your graph, I talk about where's your trajectories, where's your Feynman diagrams out here, because you bring them up, don't get me wrong, but they're in just the wrongest form. And I say that because I don't expect Fox to do it. It should be the question well presented to the overall board. Because if you say the results of what these things are, you're just saying, all right, so it's a black body problem with 2 bumps on it. I'm basically looking at Oracle stock here. It might not hit now. Why talk about it? I mean, you're just going to have the same problem with all those quantum spec, Ravina, or whatever it is for EV cars.
cheap one.
Those would be the photonic effects that look the same way on the graph there.
Dave, you have a new documentary out. It's called Borrowed Future. Can you tell us about it?
Something to keep in mind today, guys.